Hello, my friends. It is Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and it is time again for us to gather in this way. I heard this morning from Jim that the emergency measures are going to be enacted today by Parliament, extending closures of non-essential buildings and businesses for another 28 days from April the 23rd. And so that means well into May, towards the end of May, before there's even of us beginning to gather again. And so that's hard. That weighs heavily on me. I mean, I think I knew that already, but to have it affirmed and spoken is a challenge and tough. It's really tough to hear that. I miss the rhythms of my old life. I miss the rhythms of my days. Hi, Penny. I miss the people that I interacted with, sometimes on a daily basis, sometimes on a weekly basis. I miss the ability to get in my car and jump and go see family. I miss all of those things. It's a process of grieving and letting go. And so before Easter, before we started reading through the Holy Week resources from the Iona community, I had started to share with you some spiritual practices, and I thought one that might be helpful for us to explore is the spiritual practice of letting go. Hi, Heather. Glad to have you with us. And so it might seem strange to think of letting go as a spiritual practice, but it really is. The book of Ecclesiastes tells us that there is a time for everything, every purpose under heaven. There's a time to gather together and a time to let loose, a time to keep and a time to let go. Hey, Liz, glad to have you with us. And so we think of letting go as a grieving thing, as a bad thing, as something we have to give up. But maybe we need to reframe that. Maybe we need to think of letting go as I said, a spiritual practice and as a gift to us. Most of the time when we cling to things, when we hold tightly to them, there's an emotional bond that keeps us tied together, tied to that thing or that place or that tradition. And so letting go can actually be an act of freeing. Herman Hesse says that some of us think holding on can make us strong, but sometimes strength comes in the letting go. All of life is a change. You know, we are never static. We are never the same day to day. I offered that reflection earlier, that we never step in the same river twice, right? That everything's always moving and changing. Life is constantly in transition. And so strengthening our practices of letting go frees us to live fully in the present moment. Hey, Sharon, glad to have you with us. I'm trying to wave at you. Well, I did wave at you. Hopefully that worked. So letting go can free us to live fully in the present moment. Letting go helps us face the reality that we are not in control of our life. The only aspect that we do control is our attitude to what happens to us and the things that are going on. And so maybe letting go feels a little bit negative, but we can realize the positivity that is in that, the opportunities that can come from it, reflecting on letting go not as an ending, as a beginning, because in every ending there is a new beginning. I turned down my volume. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me. Try turning it up again, see what happens. So there is a process to letting go. There is a way that can help us to reflect on it and to use it. And the first thing that you need to do is you need to slow down. Well, the world is kind of helping us with that right now, right? Slowing down. And it's not a slowing down and giving up. It's a slowing down to reflect and to take in and to digest and to grieve what's changing if that's what's needed, and to imagine possibility and hope and new beginnings. It's a time when you can reflect, you can journal, you can meditate, you can go for a walk. That's how you slow down in preparation for being able to let go. Letting go requires breathing. We breathe in with intentionality and breathe out. There are lots of really great apps that you can use to help you breathe. You can use a mantra or a song to breathe, and that will help you to begin that process of letting go as well. Getting connected to your breath, the Ruah, the Spirit of God that we take in each and every time we draw a breath. Letting go also requires trust. Trust that the change is happening for a good reason. Trust that even if it's not, that something good will come out of it. Trust that you're going to be okay, no matter what's going on, no matter what the change is happening, no matter what the change is bringing, no matter what the outcome and the emotion of letting go and changing things, no matter what. Trusting that you are okay, that you are held and supported and loved, accompany you through it. And that's also a part of knowing, which is kind of the fourth step of letting go. Knowing that all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. St. Teresa said that a long time ago, and it is still true, and it's something that many of my colleagues say on a regular basis these days. All shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. So there's the knowing that whatever the change brings and whatever the letting go is calling out of you, that it's going to be okay. When we come to the other side, it's going to be okay. It's hard, and grief may be a part of it, but it's going to be okay. You also need to know and remember that you are loved. You are loved and held by a community, by family and friends, and by the God who created you and loves you and promises to be with you always and forever. And then the last part of letting go is the exhaling, right? You actually have to do it. You actually have to exhale and let it go. We talk about letting go. We try to let go. We begrudgingly let go. We fight letting go. But at some point, change requires us to actually let go. Nancy, nice to catch you on here. It actually requires us to take that final step, to exhale and to move into whatever is coming next, and to begin the new. And so, my friends, in this time when the world has asked us to let go of all of our social norms, all of our family customs, all of our regular ways of being and doing in business, in school, in personal relationships, all those ways that we have to let go. Hey, Tony. Trust and know and breathe and slow down and embrace change, and remember that not changing is not where the strength is, but letting change transform you. That's letting go and letting change transform you into who we are becoming, and what we are becoming is the critical thing to do in these days. The disciples this week after Easter were having trouble with letting go of their own hopes, their own imagination, their own possibilities that they dreamed, and Jesus came to them and offered them peace. Jesus came beyond their boundaries and beyond their shut up and closed hearts and closed off lives, and came among them and offered them peace. And so as we face this time of letting go, this time of transition and change, which is not new, just a different kind of perpetual change than we ever experienced before. Remember that Jesus came to those that he most loved in the midst of their deepest and darkest time of change and need to let go, and offered them that peace. And if you need somewhere to look in order to see that change is completely natural and that letting go is a part of life and is a part of new life and rebirth, just look around you, my friends. Bulbs growing up, bird song coming back to the forest. There are now ospreys and loons and kingfishers singing out on the world. The ice which held everything frozen and in transition during this long cold winter is now gone, and the water is flowing again. It is moving, and fish are coming back into the world. October leaves let go, and buds are beginning to emerge after a long winter. And so transition happens always. Change happens always. It is natural, it is sacred, and it is full of wonder and possibility. And so use this time to let go of the things that you need to in order to enter into our new future together, our new norm, our new way of being, with grace and love and justice and hope. And may God bless you all as you do it. Take care. See you tomorrow.